Hey everybody, it's Mark, Dr. Deadwax, and it's time for the Inbox Challenge 2, Day 17. Today's numbers were picked by Obscured by Music. They picked 3, I'm going to do 5. Obscured by Music, I was supposed to do your numbers the other day, and I didn't skip you on purpose. I use Firefox, and I check who's I'm doing next every day, and I work my way backwards from the first post that was made on the thread. And I've been doing them in order, and the other day I copied 2 down because I had to clean in advance, and now I can't see all of the comments, so I've had to go out and use Internet Explorer. IE is only showing me 22 instead of the 37 comments that are on the thread, so IE has them in a different order. So they're ones I've done, and here's Obscured by Music. So I guess if people are using different browsers, the comments look like they're in different, and some people might think I'm skipping them, but I'm not. I'm working. Ugh. Anyway, so Obscured by Music picked 3 numbers, and I pulled 2 of my own. And here we go. First up, and the last 2 are the ones I pulled. First up is Parliament, Gloryhallastoopid, or Pin the Tail on the Funky. And this is a strange bit of packaging. This is a gatefold. Look at this. This is like a gatefold double thing unipack comic book. Oh, it's on Casablanca. Deadwax is just matrix codes. So I almost bought this like 5 times the day I was in the store. There's like 7 Parliament and Funkadelic albums there. I have no Parliament or Funkadelic in my collection. I cannot find clean copies for the life of me. This was the only one that was kind of clean, and it was $4. And I picked it up and I put it back like 4 or 5 times. Vacillated. And I decided to buy it for $4. I decided to take a chance. It was fairly clean, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty good nick. It could be cleaner. It's ticky at times and a little scratched up. The music is funky. It's a little disco-y. I don't know. I think it might be from the later days. Yeah, this is 1979. So, I mean, disco's kind of gone too. So, Gloryhallastoopid, or Pin the Tail on the Funky. It's funky. There's like 4 songs on one side and 3 sides on the other, so they're long and they're rocking, but it's okay. It's not brilliant. Not essential. I'm glad to have one Parliament album. Funk is trashed every time I go to buy funk. It's never anywhere, and when it is decimated. People who listen to punk or funk partied harder than the people who listen to like Pink Floyd and Supertramp's Crime of the Century. Next, it's Harold Budd, Lovely Thunder. Fortunately, this is released on, yes, editions EG. It says Sterling in the Deadwax. So this is noisy. Every single edition's EG is noisy. I think I'm going to get people in the record store to buy them for me, so that I'm not the one that actually buys them. I give them like $5. We go, I'll pay you $5 to go to cash and pay for this. I'll pay, just to kind of see if there's some way I can get clean copies of editions EG. Fantastic record. I can't say enough about it. It's really cool. Another, I like almost everything on editions EG, and none of it is listenable. And it's such fine, delicate, quiet, sensitive, textural music that I mean, I can listen through analog noise, like background noise on a vinyl. I'm not someone whose ear is trained to digital, and every single little tick drives me crazy. But when it's just like a snowstorm, or you know, it gets to be too much. So next is Cannonball Adderley Sextet in New York, featuring Nat Adderley and Yusef Lateef, recorded live at the Village Vanguard. And this is fantastic. This is Cannonball on alto, Nat on cornet, Yusef Lateef on tenor, flute, and oboe, Joe Zawinul on piano, Sam Jones on bass, and Lewis Hayes on drums. Recorded January 12th and 14th, 1962. And this is an original pressing. I do believe this is an original on Riverside. I'm pretty sure the black label on Riverside is the first pressing. Could be blue, but I believe blue indicates that they were mono and black indicates they were stereo. Anyway, something I need to learn a bit more about. Fantastic. Just awesome. Yusef Lateef. Oh, he's brilliant. Wrote a couple songs on that record. Brilliant. Totally different feel than the other songs on the record. Like, you could see then where he was going to go a little. Joe Zawinul, I think that's the only thing I have that he's on. I'm sure I have other stuff that he's on, but I don't own a single of his solo records, so really happy to get that. That was like $6 or $7. Next is the first one I picked. This is the Booker T set. Booker T and the MGs. This is an original pressing on Stax with the silver foil cover. It's a little rough. And the record's a little rough. You know, it just is. But again, here's something I never see as stuff on Stax. And this is always just beat to shit blues. And this isn't blues. This is kind of, yeah, this is kind of rhythm and blues. A little touch funky. This is great. Really happy to have this. Would love a cleaner copy, but these get a little bit pricey once you've got the foil cover on them. And this has AIGC in the dead wax. And I'm not sure if the GC stands for Greg Calby. He's a mastering engineer. It's a set of initials I'm not familiar with, and I don't really know what period he was cutting plates in, so it could be him, it could not be him. So, but there is a Greg Calby who did sign Dead Wax with GC, so you know, if you have Dead Wax with GC in it, there's a chance that that's who it's in reference to. And finally, this is Gerry and the Pacemakers. This is I'm the One, You'll Never Walk Alone, How Do You Do It, I Like It, and 10 others. And this is the Capitol 6000 series. These were Canadian-only releases on Capitol. Some of them are highly collectible, some of them are not. They did them for about 30 years, off and on. The really super collectible ones are the Beatles ones. Some of them are like unique to Canada. So, and it's on the Capitol Rainbow. This is I'm the One, it's called, I guess. This is good. The record's a little rougher than I would like, you know. But I kept it because it was unusual. I got this like in a box of stuff. And, you know, this is kind of, well, I mean, they're British. They're from Liverpool, I believe. So it's that beat kind of sound. Contemporaries of the Beatles. I don't know. Early Beatles, this kind of stuff. Garage. It's okay. It doesn't it's not what I want to listen to. So, but it's kind of cool to have a Capital 6000 that's actually playable. I had a whole bunch of Beatles ones that were beat up, so I dumped them all recently at a Salvation Army table because collectors will buy them just for the covers. So I thought the Salvation Army, you know, they were selling them for $1, so I'm sure they sold them all. So Gerry and the Pacemakers, Capital 6000. I mean, if you're a Beatles collector and you don't know about the 6000 series, you know, dig into it. If you do, then you know what I'm talking about. There's all kinds of stuff on the 6000 series. There's classical records, there's Down East fiddle music, there's, you know, UK Beatles records, there's Canada only Beatles records. Like, it just covers the whole gambit. I made them up to like the death of vinyl, basically. Booker T and the MGs. The Booker T set. This is pretty funky. This is great. Can't say enough about this. Have to find a clean copy of that. And Cannonball Adderley Sextet. Best record of the day, probably. Most listenable record of the day. This would give it a run for best record of the day if it was listenable. And finally, Gloryhallastoopid. I'm really happy to finally have some listenable funk in the collection, but I need that copy to be more listenable, and I need a lot more funk. I'm actually considering buying reissues. It's that bad. So that's it. That's the end of day whatever the hell we're on. And Obscured by Music is a viewer but not a video maker, so thanks for picking the numbers, and thanks for playing along. Thanks for watching and commenting, everybody, and see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Keep the record spinning.